Hey, what's up, everyone? And now that I've seen the comments that you guys are writing, it makes me think I probably must have mistitled this video. No, I do not have Eve with me. I think, now that I think about it, my titles is a little bit misleading. So for those of you guys who thought that we have Eve over here, I'm sorry to disappoint you, man, but you only got me over here. All right, so today it's gonna be a podcast. All right, another podcast, AVA Japan podcast number 4, where I talk about a Japanese music artist that I've been following in this channel. And so far, all of you guys who have followed me in this channel, you know what kind of music that I've been listening to. And for those of you who have joined me in the first podcast, I did one with The First Take, and then later on I did another one with who did I do again? Was it Minami? And then followed by Tsutomayo. And now with the 4th installment of this podcast, I'm here to talk about Eve. So what's up, guys? Hey, Celso Batista, Heart Interest, Shukun, my Shukun, long time buddy, man. So Chris, I don't have Eve with me, so I hope you're not disappointed. So for those of you guys who are new to this whole channel, basically I think my YouTube channel is slowly becoming a Japanese music channel. I never really planned it this way when I started my whole YouTube channel. I always wanted to do something to do with Japanese culture, specifically travel, but hey, no luck here. No luck this year or last year. And having my passion in music eventually moved me to reacting to music. And Japanese music seems like the reasonable choice. And then now as I explored all these things, well, it seems like this is becoming a Japanese music channel. And so far in the beginning stages, we have reacted to a lot of Vocaloid Utaites. And as you can see in my most recent videos, I am going into Japanese metal, something very new to me. So I hope you guys enjoy. But anyways, today we're here to talk about Eve, alright? We're here to get to know about the man, the myth, the legend. We're here to know about this artist who at first I heard of him as some kind of person who's making noise in the Vocaloid charts based on the comment sections that you guys have written. And then when I check out his music, which is the first one ever, Okini Mesumama, and there's no way this is Vocaloid. And he seems to me as someone who has developed his own style, and then eventually I check out more songs from him, moving on to Hakujin, Inochi no Tabekata, which is a very new song at that time, and I'm instantly hooked. And then that moved me to Bunka, which is an amazing album, and I wonder if you guys have listened to Bunka, because that album itself, it was very raw in energy, a lot of guitar works, and I was very especially impressed with a song called Kaishingeki. Now if you guys have listened to Kaishingeki, you will notice in the whole album the way the music flow from track 1 all the way to it, my god, it just sets up for that song. That chorus itself is just so lively. And then recently I've just listened to Smile, which is yet again another album, and at the same time as I've decided to do that, he released another new one. So for all of you guys who have catch all those new songs like Kai Kai Kitan, Shinkai Promise, Aono Waltz, wow, what a time to be alive, man. It all suddenly came in. Eve just rewarded us with so much goodness. Well, if you guys are also have not seen my podcast before, so far in my channel, I've just basically listened to stuff for the first time. And today we're gonna go through some information of Eve for the first time. Maybe you guys already know, but what? There's acoustic version of Kaishingeki? What? For real? Oh man. God damn it. So anyways, yeah, so today this podcast will go through a couple of information about Eve, something that I don't know, because so far whatever you guys know that I know about Eve is all within this channel. I've just watched his music videos, I've just listened to his music, but I don't know anything about his history. So we're gonna explore this together, alright? Now let's go, man. I got something loaded up over here and I have no idea anything about it. So this is a very common website though, utaite.fandom.com. So Eve, formerly known as Keitora and Kurowa, is an Utaite known for his very distinctive thin boyish voice, which despite being slightly nasal in tone is very gentle and nice flowing. God, I didn't even know that he has 2 other stage names, Keitora and Kurowa. His voice is usually described as being shorter-like or cute. However, he can also sing in a more uncharacteristically rough manner, as seen in parts of his cover of Headphone Actor. Now, if you're talking about like his voice in terms of being shorter, I've only heard it in songs like Hard Forecast. Hard Forecast, was it really? Not really. The worst, not really. But in Anoko no Secret, yeah, Okara no Kyoku, those are the parts that are very shorter. But other than that, when you listen to Inochi no Tabekata and Leo, what else? I can say Kaishingeki as well. You know, these are kind of voice songs that you listen to and you felt that his voice is somewhat very low in tone, and it seems like as if he's not a person that is not singing can't really sing very high. At first that's what I thought, until I start to sing dramaturgy, until I start to just play around, turn on his music and read the lyrics and try to sing with it. If y'all have tried singing dramaturgy, it is tough to pull off that chorus. I guess probably I don't have that voice or I don't have that range cut out for it, but that is the first time I realized how deceptively good his singing is, which is like you hear it and you feel this some kind of sense of calmness and very comfortable to sing, and then when you actually sing it, no, it's tough. It's super tough. So he generally sings in a deeper mid-range voice, but tends to shift registers to a slightly higher range when necessary, such as in his cover of Nakimushi Robot. You know, as I read this article, I realize something, man. So far, the Eve that I have explored are all the parts of Eve where he starts to become his own artist. And I guess maybe perhaps his time as Keitora and as well as Kurowa is probably back in his Vocaloid days. Now if you guys have followed him since back then perhaps you guys can let me know, man. So he first started uploading covers in April 2009 at the age of 13. However, his first cover as Eve, Tragic Boy, was uploaded in October 2009. So he started at age 13. Wait, if 2009 he's 13. And it's about like 20 years from now. So he's, oh god, my math sucks. So prior to this, he had gone by 2 different names, Kurowa and Keitora, before finally settling on his current name. Most of his covers from 2009 have since been either deleted or set to private with few exceptions. Somewhat unusually, his MyList divide his uploads by the year they were uploaded. This is usually how it happens, guys. This is when they had a start as an artist and they uploaded their earlier works and people follow them, and then eventually they get better and better. They start covering up their tracks. They start covering up their initial work, and then the next thing you know, you go to their channel or you go to their discography and you only see, wow, this guy is really good from the beginning. I hope none of you guys know my anime reaction time. So though he mostly sings Vocaloid songs from a variety of genres, this is definitely an old article. Though he mostly sings Vocaloid songs from a variety of genres, he is also known to be a fan of indie and folk rock, having covered songs by the bands Galileo Galilei and Radwimps. Aside from covering songs, he himself is one of the lead singers for the former Japanese indie band Aini, alongside Natsuhiro Takaki. He also composes songs and writes lyrics for the band. Wow, from the early get-go, I guess dude really has a lot of interest in music from the age of 13. Can you guys imagine and just remember back in your own childhood when you're age 13, what are you doing? Let me know in the live chat, man. What are you doing when you're age 13? When he is age 13, he started uploading his covers. And then by the time October 2009, he uploaded his cover as Eve. Man, our man has grown up a lot. That was the first time that he used his stage name Eve, and look at him today, man. Dramaturgy probably have around like over 50 million views, if I'm not wrong. God, man. So I've actually never checked out his Vocaloid songs before. I've actually not checked out his earlier work, and if I'm not wrong, probably the earliest work that I've listened to him was probably Rocky with Soul. Other than that, I've never really checked out his cover songs at all. So in addition to vocals, he also plays an acoustic guitar and has accompanied his singing a few times with his own acoustic arrangement. An example of this would be his cover of the Radwimps song 37458. He also serves as an extra guitarist on some of Aini's songs. Well, damn, I guess you can say it's pretty much confirmed. Like, he probably have a lot of responsibility. How do I put this? Credited, or probably he does a lot of arrangement for the guitar works in his music. I mean, if you listen to Eve's music, the guitar is probably one of the main instruments. Now, I've mentioned this before in my previous podcast, where Zutomayo's main instrument, the sound that defines Zutomayo, is the bass and the piano. And bass as in slap bass, and it's always have this some kind of sense of calmness. So if you listen to Zutomayo music, the first impression you get is always some kind of a lounge, jazzy kind of feel for some parts. And when you talk about Eve, I always have this impression that it's a lot to do with guitar riffs, very clean guitar riffs and a lot of layers, and it's panned to a lot of sides. So if you remember back to Anoko no Secret, the introduction, oh god. And then that's playing on one side. I'm not doing it very accurately, but you guys get my point. And then on another side, there's another higher note of that riff. And then but most of the Eve songs, like even Okinimi Mesumama, very guitar driven, very clean guitar driven. Someone who comes from a metal and rock background, I'm so used to listening to guitars being either in overdrive or distorted, and then suddenly being introduced into this whole world of Utaite. I don't even see him as Vocaloid anymore. No, I've never seen him as a Vocaloid artist to begin with. I started seeing him as more like an Utaite, together with all the Mafu guys and Araki and Naruse. So the first impression I got of him is just an Utaite who has a lot of interesting guitar works, very interesting guitar solos and riffage, and he doesn't play that much of a arpeggios. There's a lot of just single notes riffage. He has also participated in several live events since debut and has also been featured in a remarkable number of the Utaite-centric magazine. Wow, man, I didn't know there's a huge community on this to a point that they even have their own magazines. Utate Mita no Hon and 2.5 Songmate. Eve has also worked as a guest seiyuu in the anime Mecha Ude. He cameos as a classmate of one of the protagonists. Wow. Man, if you guys have listened to have tuned into Eve's podcast during Christmas, where he plays very nice background music of his songs, but tune it into a way where it's using the instrument to give us the Christmas feel. He has such a calm, nice voice, super calm, nice voice, and if he goes, I can't see him as a seiyuu that much as a anime character. I'm not so sure how that would sound like, but if you guys have a snippet, just please do send it to me, man. Just let me know. So far we covered all these things. I guess it's a good start of knowing where Eve come from at the age of 13 years old and start uploading his music, and to this point right now, very proud of him. Alright, let's check out some of the comments, man. Luis Felipe, is he still doing Vocaloid? No, I don't think so, man. In my opinion, if you come to this stage right now where you're releasing so much of music and having higher production in your own music videos and as well as a storyline, I think you are your own artist already. And if you see like the new music videos that he has, god damn, he writes songs for anime now. He's basically just trying to conquer the whole anime opening award market to himself at the start of the year, and he could very much be a contender, you know. It's like, I mean, he's definitely a contender. What I'm trying to say is that he very much could be the winner if they nominated him for the anime opening. Just listening to this 4 new songs, I'll know what's. That is a good one, and that's the reason why I'm reserving that for the last reaction for this week. Chris says, I believe he did Comet Honeymoon and his own version of Chocolate Town, but Hatsune Miku sings them in Nico Nico and he posted them with his own voice on YouTube. Exactly, man. The first time people told me about Eve being a Vocaloid, and then when I check it out, it's him singing. Shukun says he does some very short Vocaloid cover on his Instagram story a while back ago last year. And Shukun also says, speaking of Anoko's secret, are you gonna watch Mecha Ude? Man, I wish I had the time to check out more anime, man. But I guess another time, man. Another time, Mecha Ude. Now let's find out another interesting bit about Eve, man. I stumbled onto this article online. A question about him revealing the identity. Now I only saw the question, but I didn't see what the reply was. So we're gonna dive in this together. I have a question about Eve. Does anyone know if he shows his face on concerts? I mean, it would be kind of hard not to do so, I guess, but I was never really sure and always wondered because he generally prefers to hide, not show his face. So I guess this question is basically asking, has anyone ever seen Eve's face before, especially when in concert? Now my experience in a very famous Japanese artist who used to cover her face and then she finally came out was an artist by the name of Aimer. Oh no, wait, they call her Eme. The first time I saw her, I would just pronounce it using the English name that she has, which is Aimer, but turns out her pronunciation is Eme. Now I don't know if you guys know about this, but I'm a huge fan of Eme. And I know practically every songs. You know, when I go into an artist, I really go into all of the music. And following Aimer or Eme at her start of a career, in her concerts, you would see her concert stage very dark, and you'll see a lot of animation in the screen. So she herself would stand in the middle and there will be no light shining on the face, so it will be pretty hard to see how she looks like unless you use flash photography. So I have a picture. Eve would probably have the same thing, or if he doesn't want people seeing his face, he could just wear the mask that he has in his profile picture, which is also the picture that I used for this thumbnail. So So yeah, so I'm pretty sure that Eve at this moment would want to cover his identity. So, anyways, as a reply to that question, saying that even though I haven't gone to a life of Eve myself, he is 99.9% sure he does. First of all, his persona, as people may call it, doesn't have any signature mask or anything that covers his face like Itokashi Taro or Underbar. Have so, it would be unusual for him to have a mask since other than to hear him sing in person or just to support. People usually go to lives to see what the Utaite's face look like. You know what? For me, my experience is a little bit different because I know some of you guys probably hate me for this, but I really am a music guy. So if you guys see me reacting to music, mostly I'm talking about the audio point of view, the music. And how the melody, the composition, the arrangement, the instruments, and the effects. So when the whole Utaite game came out and Mafu Mafu not revealing their identity, Akane not showing her face, Eve hiding their identity, it never really got me curious enough to say that I want to see how they look like, you know? Or even so, when Mafu Mafu finally revealed his face, I wasn't exactly 1000% excited. I was just more excited with the new song that he was about to release, the Hitomo Doki. That was something that I was more excited. So if I go to Eve concert, I just want to hear the live performance, man. All this live instrumentalists, all these musicians playing together, and then just Eve delivering the music. Eve, to me, when he sings the music, I get this impression he's not singing. He's telling a whole story. And hopefully someday when he gets big enough, I hope he has this massive concert that has a lot of LED lights showing all the animation of his stories, all the hitotsumes, all the pakun, all the characters all into one whole 2 hours experience, which I would gladly pay him to do so. So also many Utaite don't show their face or at least their whole face very often because of many reasons like insecurity or not wanting people in their life to know about their activities. Now this one I wholeheartedly agree. Having been to Japan 3 times, great place for holiday. Super great place. I mean having been to Japan 3 times, it's really not that big. Meaning to say that everyone is condensed and dense packed into the train and into the places, into the restaurants. So you don't want yourself to be famous and sitting in a train with so many people seeing you. Now when I say Japan is not big, I don't mean anything bad because Japan is not big, but it's super dense, like super dense, packed, like the usual phrase they say, packed like a can of sardine tuna or something like that. So I can imagine a lot of artists really doesn't want to show how they look like because it will be hella awkward, and especially Japanese people really value their privacy. So of course I can imagine that they don't want to show their face. And also besides that, a lot of Japanese people really feel that they are not a huge artist or not a big deal because they are only in Japan. But the power of Japanese music is that it transcends borders. There's so many people loving Japanese artists. Like I'm pretty sure bands like Unlucky Morpheus will be wondering, wow, we have a huge fan base outside? How did this happen? So it's very understandable if they don't want to reveal their face, and especially someone like Eve, I think it gets pretty tough, especially when he's on the rise, but probably he wants to have a normal lifestyle. So yeah, they all have their reasons, which we'll never know because we aren't them, and frankly they don't have to because they are Utaite, not professional singers. Wow, this is a very good definition. I thought Utaite was just, you know, another definition of just another genre, you know, Vocaloid, idoru. So I always thought Utaite was just another branch of Japanese definition of music, but now that you're saying it, Utaites, not professional singers. I think you can sort of classify Utaites as like a types of singers that are from a platform like YouTuber artists, and collectively maybe the time was right with Vocaloid and everything just burst up. All this Utaite, suddenly all these great singers, you know, just coming up like Luz, Who else? Oh man, I was about to say Mei Chan, and I'm sure a lot of you guys are like, dude, you haven't checked out Mei Chan. Yes, I've not checked out Mei Chan. Or the USSS guys. And then all of a sudden they have the same thing because they are in the same community. They support each other to a point that, hey, wow, we're not only just, you know, hobby singers or utaites, but now there's actually a huge following that everybody wants to check out. And then you start to release an album, and now this Utaites will now suddenly become an era defining singers, like how they define like rap rockers or the Linkin Parks and the Limp Bizkit and Crazy Town. I came from that generation, so maybe in Japan they probably view Utaite as some kind of generational singers, maybe, I don't know. So yeah, I mean, now if you take a look at Mafu and Eve, I think Eve definitely, he's probably going very close to the likes of Kenshi Yonezu, and so is Sutomayo as well. So, and most of the Utaites, they are not signed with a company. We know Eve is signed to Toy Factory because every time I upload my video, Toy Factory claims my video. So I don't earn any ads from him, alright? All the money goes back to Eve, hooray! And most of them aren't doing it for a profit. Believe it or not, most of them have separate jobs or are in school. Yeah, I remember listening to Neru and I think it's Neru, and someone say that he has a job in he's a salary man. In a television program a few months ago, Amasuki said the pros about being an utaite and not a professional singer is that they don't need to show their faces, and people like them solely because of their music. I see. Well, that makes sense, man. That makes sense. You know what? I wonder how does this happen? As in like, I wonder how does people listen to music and then judge the face of a singer. There must be some kind of intelligent way to think about this. For example, I'm pretty sure no one in this world listens to a great song and then views the artist and say that, wow, just because this artist looks good, I have a more favorable response. No way. I think people do that. Let me know in a live chat, man. What do you guys think about? Does it really affect you if, let's just say, you happen to be watching a singer and when you know their face, it changes your perception? To me, I've never really cared how they look like. So even when I knew how they look like, it doesn't really change my perception on anything. It doesn't make me go crazy about them. So maybe they're doing this for privacy reasons, like what they're saying. Maybe they just want their music to be focused in one way. Secondly, if you keep up with Eve's activities on Twitter, you'll notice that after live shows, there are often live reports by companies such as Natalie.mu or Spice, which have received permission to take photos of them during the live performance. In those photos taken from Eve and Soul's two-man's concert in his own Otoji tour, the photos had some kind of light that cover up their face. Wow, man, they even have this technology that can shine on their face to cover up the light. But that is just in the photo, and if you were in the audience, the light would probably not block their face the entire time. You know what? Probably Eve can pull off the concert by just wearing that mask. You know, wearing that mask. That mask look good. It can actually be his character, you know. You can actually have that mask all the way until here so that it doesn't block the jaw movement, and yeah, you'll do well. So in short, yes, pretty sure that based on the fact that his character does not wear a mask, and after live photo, okay, all right. So that's one way of seeing how things work like. All right, let's check out the comment section for a while, man. Finite Eterna says once he reveals his face, there's no going back. That's the thing. Oh man, that's a very good point, man. If Eve really does reveal his face, there really is no going back. I mean for those people who try to become professional singers, for those musicians who try to be professional singers, they are probably like, all right, let's do this. I want to do this. I am blessed to be able to do this, because if you want to be a professional singer, you gotta have the money to support your lifestyle, man. Second of all, your lifestyle allows you to go ahead and pursue these things, and having that 1 year gap time to go look for management companies, write music, and then probably get signed and have a little bit of attraction. But Utaite is a little bit different. They probably have a side job, and if let's just say they get millions over views, they might probably still have a daytime job. They might probably still have their own circumstance. And if let's just say they reveal their face and then for some reason they can't make it in the whole music scene, they gotta go back into the grind, you know, working daily. Working in music is so uncertain, and if they already reveal their face, then it makes it super risky. Alejandro Tapia Parence, also he once said that he wanted to reveal his face, but that is also difficult because he has been hiding it a very long time. You know, if there's one thing about showing yourself in the face is that once you do it once, you get used to it. But if you not show your face for so long and then suddenly you do a face review, then it's gonna be quite intimidating. Alright, let's get into something more interesting, man. I found this article. Japanese singer Eve answers 7 questions about albums Otogi and Bunka. Is Otogi Smile? No, right? Otogi is probably another album, right? But there's an interesting article over here that actually have Eve revealing some good stuff about him. So let's check this out, man. It's been a year since the release of Bunka, Eve's 4th album. What kinds of changes have you made as an artist since then? So Eve says when he was making Bunka, he was so desperate to figure out what message he would send that he didn't think about sharing it with anyone. He entered with the mindset of creating something temporary. And when I eventually began to write, I just wrote about my own feelings and thoughts. I didn't want to tell anyone that I had made that album. Oh, wow. You know, if you want to make an album, God, it takes so long, man. It took so long. I had gone through the experience of writing my own album, a 10-track classic rock album based on my interests at the time. And God, I was doing it together with one person, and we wrote the melody, we wrote the arrangement, everything on Guitar Pro 5. That's right, that time was Guitar Pro 5. And then finding a studio on myself, and then overnighting in that studio itself so that by the morning I can get out and they can get to work. It's a friend of mine, that's why I get to use it. And then just taking 8 hours just to record one layer of guitar. Can you imagine taking one layer? I was recording one guitar track for a song that plays for 5 minutes. It took me 8 hours, including breaks as well. I need a break. And then going over to record a second time, and then recording bass myself. I'm not a bass player. I don't know musical theories. I can't slap bass, even though Davey 504 has changed my mind. But I was playing those instruments myself, and it took so long, to a point from getting there and then trying to create a demo, doing my own mixing, to mastering it. And then by the time I was ready to put in my vocals, God, I need to learn how to sing a little bit. So I can imagine if Eve has created their vocal cover songs by the age of 13, he must have gone through that grind, man. And for him to end up coming up being able to sing so well, god damn, it makes me so jealous, man. So he didn't tell anyone that he wrote an album. That is probably a secret that he kept for himself for over 1 year or 8 months. Or maybe 6 months now. It gotta be 8 months, man. It's like, how do you answer this question, man, when he meet his friends? How do you answer this question when he meet up with So and say, hey, So ask him, hey Eve, what's up? How's your day been? And nothing. I wasn't writing any music. I mean, how do you keep it up? I mean, if you write a music, there's so many things to tell. You want to like, oh man, you know, writing music, the joy of writing music is discovering that one moment when the guitar comes in at the right time, or the piano, you hit the right note, and woo, it serves as a good addition, man, an addition to the song. So I don't know how they keep that to his heart, man. I guess maybe Japanese has a real good skill in keeping their feelings private and to themselves. And so everyone who's touched the album, including the music video, has interpreted it differently. Ah, okay. I get it. For example, he often hear things like, this song cheered me up, or I felt like such and such. This was something I completely did not expect. Well, if there's a message that I want to let Eve know, is that listening to Okini Mesu Mama changed my world. That is the first song that I've heard of Eve. And the brightness of the song, the happiness of it, the joyfulness of the song, it's just so, wow, you know, it's just so incredible. It's something that I've not heard before. He has this amazingness of like making you feel so bright and making you feel so happy. And that's the thing that I've always identified with Eve. And then I listened to another song of his, which is Dramaturgy. Holy crap, man, that thing is nice. And by the way, if you try to sing Dramaturgy, oh man, I took so long just to practice those words, man. And since I practice those words, I'm gonna bust out some moves right now. Oh damn, I failed. 寂しいとか愛とか分かんない人間の形を投げしたんだ。抱えきれない言葉だらけの存在証明を。まあ君にはきっと無理なんだ。Oh, that's good stuff, man. So, when he was making Bunka, he wrote about his own feelings and thoughts. And so everyone who's touched the album, oh, okay, this is just a snippet. So how do you feel about the response you receive? I had written those songs for myself, but I feel like I have impacted the people who tell me those things. That's true, man. I think the live shows was a great experience. How do you feel about them after they were over? I was glad that I did the concerts. Most of my action is through the internet, and it's based on posting songs that people can listen to at home. So initially, I didn't do live shows very often, but when I performed at Shin Kiba Studio Coast Eve one-man tour, I thought there are so many people here. I'm used to seeing numbers on the screen, but when it's just that, you start to think, is this really true? But when I took the stage, there were so many people, and they gave such a huge reaction that I actually felt their presence. So that was a big event. Now before I perform, I get insanely anxious, but I feel relief after every show, and I want to keep doing live events in the future. Man, damn, man. You gotta picture this, man. You write songs on the internet, on the couch, right? And then after that, you put it up on the internet and you release it. And if you're not using keywords, man, it gets even tougher. So probably he started it right in the whole Vocaloid platform. I probably started it at Nico. So then to suddenly see the numbers rise up. Now I know you guys are right here on the live chat, but I gotta tell you something, man. On the internet, it really feels different. You hear everybody talking about it, all those creators. I didn't understand what they mean, but now that I see it, okay, it kind of makes sense. Even Trash Taste, they say it too. Trash Taste, great podcast. Did you guys watch the Gacha live? Anyways, they said this, man. Once you reach your 1,000 subs, there's so much celebration to it. And then after that, following it, another 1,000, it just gets, you know, a number. It just becomes a number. And of course, I very much appreciate all of you guys who are here. And Eve, seeing that number go from 100 people and wow, 100 people are listening to me, to 1,000 people, 1,000 people listening to me. God damn. And then going to 2,000 and going over to 5,000, 100,000. To him, he'll like it. He'll be so appreciative. He'll feel encouraged. He'll feel so thankful. Everybody does. He'll be humble about himself. But then after a while, you just see these numbers as some form of statistic. That's why you always gotta do a lot of stuff, which is why I appreciate doing this podcast. You know, you gotta do live concert. You gotta do some kind of fan participation. You gotta involve the community to do something, and that's where you realize, wow, in fact, for me to do this kind of live podcast, wow, there's actually people typing here, and I'm so glad seeing some friends like Shukun. You know, Shukun has been watching my video for so long. I remember you. Some of my new friends have come over here from this Eve Music Reaction Week. So welcome. So for Eve, you know, to suddenly go to a concert and seeing that, holy crap, 1,000 people is in this building. 1,000 people is a lot of people, man. A restaurant can probably fit like 30 people. An airplane can probably fit like 200 people. A school can probably fit like 500 people. And you have 1,000 people What? And all because they came here, because they're connected with your music. 1,000 people. So I can feel like very excited for Eve when he see that for the first time. Very happy. So for him to get insanely anxious, wow, I don't know, man. From sitting behind your couch replying comments saying thank you for listening to my music, and going in front and seeing 1,000 pair of eyes waiting for you to bust out that note. So I was so impressed while listening to Otogi. For example, the symbolism, it was still underground. Oh, so that's where the song is, in which you use the words kimi and bokura. It seems to echo the identity of your album Bunka. Oh wow, this is where, if you know the language, it makes much more sense, and it gives so much, it makes the album so much more richer, because the language, man, the language. But it also touches on the experience of sharing your music with others. I think this motive is a big part of this new album, as in Otogi. So Eve says absolutely, the words you and are and we are interspersed throughout the album, and each person who listens has their own interpretation of it. I think that's really interesting. When I was writing the lyrics, I feel like I didn't explain what the music was or wasn't about. The previous album was written the same way. However, when people listen and empathize with my words, I had thoughts like everyone feels this way, and I'm finally able to share my music with everyone. That was such an amazing feeling that I had something I could share with someone. I guess that's something that Eve probably didn't realize, man. And that is, for all this foreign, Western, I mean, that comes from not Japan world of listening, like all of you guys over here who come from that world listening to Eve, we probably are not able to understand completely what his music is about, which is why when you have the music video and it shows so much visual cues, I guess it makes sense for us who speaks English and is fans of him on the English point of view would write all the stories that you see on his YouTube, right, on his videos, right, commenting all his theories and stuff like that. So for me, and I want to know how you guys see it, man, how you guys listen to his music. For me, I just felt the joy of his music, and I love listening to music when traveling. So I brought the whole album of Bunka going into an island, a small little island in my country, and I've rent no bikes. I didn't go to many places because hey, COVID is still alive in my country, but I was in this very small island and I brought the album with me, and I was drinking very nice alcohol. And then just, God, man, I've said it so many times, man, but Dramaturgy is one of my top favorite songs. It's one of my absolute favorite, you know, it's like, it's unpredictable, it's courageous, it is strange. I mean, like, dun, 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 dun. And then the pre-chorus, everything makes no sense to me. As in, like, if I write the music on my own, that song doesn't make sense to me. But god damn, it sounded so good. So when I listen to Eve's music, I just really feel whatever sound is delivered to me. And if I were to tell Eve how I felt from it, is that thank you so much for writing this amazing arrangement, this amazing sound that you have produced, that I have so much rooms and opportunity to catch up from. And unfortunately, I'm not able to understand your words, but to me, when I watch your music video, I just feel that, dude, you gotta get your own anime, man. Hopefully you get your own funding to do your own anime. But I know, unfortunately, in this world, it's kind of hard to shift from one medium to another medium. If we love the music video so much and we want it to become an anime, well, you either die a hero or you live long enough to see yourself become a villain. So, did these experiences influence the creation of your album Otogi? No, actually, before releasing Bunka, there were demos of Tokyo Ghetto and Outsider. I started making the song Last Dance around December of 2017 or January of 2018. At the time, I hadn't had these experiences yet. So the album contains my feeling from those days. The songs took around a half year to make. because the music videos were animated. So when the songs were released, I felt as if my children were finally being released into the world. My children! Man, Eve for sure is gonna feel that way, man. My children. I mean, you worked so hard for the music, and then after that, you work together with people. And then you gotta release it to the world, man. Alright, let's take a break for a while and take a look at some of the comments, man. School of Lock. What's that? If you search Eve Locks, you can hear it. You can also catch him live on YouTube playing Apex Legends. I want to be able to meet Eve's son at least once in my life. That will be one of the happiest moments for the rest of my life. Man, I don't know if you guys know it, man. I don't know if you guys know it. Some of you guys do. But I feel so blessed because I've actually had my own personal interaction with Eve. That's right, man. Eve came to my channel. Eve came to my reaction video in Heart Forecast in my first ever Eve Music Reaction Week. And then he replied to my comments, and when he replied to my comment, he said thank you very much. Ooh, ooh. Wait, I should do it better. I should do the Antonio Banderas. I was reading JoJo's Bizarre Adventure before I sleep, and then that notification came. Eve said thank you very much. I saw it. I was like, oh, it validates everything I'm doing, man. It validates what I'm doing as a hobby right now, which is being a Japanese music reaction channel. An artist actually came and validated me. Oh my god, I feel so good. By the way, side note, man, I'm actually gonna go into a Japanese music documentary. That's right, I'm actually slowly gonna move my way to explore and experience in doing Japanese music artist documentary, man. So that's something I'm gonna do. So this question asks Eve, why did you begin posting yourself singing? Eve started when it was at his friend's house in their recording room, and they asked him, why don't you sing a little? And he had never played an instrument or sang. Oh man, he gotta be like age 12 or age 10. So he just did as his friend asked and recorded songs at their house. It was his first time uploading them to the internet, but there were quite a lot of reactions, so he was really happy. He didn't know who was commenting, but he got a lot of response. That was what triggered the beginning. So I guess really, man, that's why you gotta support musicians, man. To me, I always believe that there are no such thing as bad singers, especially when I come from the world of rock and metal. Of course, those are great singers too, but you know, don't fall into the whole fallacy and the dogma of all this pop music and reality singing shows that you have to belt out high notes, that every song gotta be a crescendo, and then you go all the way up, and then explosion comes in, boom, 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 ta-da! Not every song gotta be some kind of explosion where it goes from low to high, man. Not every song gotta be a Disney song. So always support musicians, no matter how bad it is, or how boring it is. It's always the first step, and that's what Eve did, man. But I'm kind of amazed, just being so young and singing the song and uploading it on the internet, and people responding. That was the start. Wow, that's a good start, man. Maybe all of us should try that. Maybe I should try that. When he first started online, he found out to be... Oh, okay, the interviewer was saying when he first started working online, he found out to be an exciting new environment. How was the experience for him? Eve says in the Vocaloid scene, there's not just Japanese rock bands. Vocaloid scene has Japanese rock bands? There's different genres that he don't usually listen to. Even the same song might have different genres, depending on who's covering it. I was just trying to do more and more interesting things, and before I realized it, here I am. I have this idea, man. I actually wanted to do one song done by every other Utaite artist, and it's going to be that song music reaction week. You know, when I did Roki, then somebody told me that Mafu and Soraru did a version. Oh, okay, interesting. Then somebody told me that was it Araki? Wait, was it Araki? Basically, another Utaite did it. I was like, what, really? And I was wondering how many people actually covered this one song. So if it is, maybe I can just do a whole music reaction week just based on that one song, man. I got so many ideas for music reaction week. I'm actually about to do a tournament like thing, man, to see like, all right, let's check out let's see what you guys like, man. Let's make it into a tournament way and then let's build up to a point. In fact, I was also think of doing a music reaction week based on the geography where you guys are at, because I have viewers from all over the world. Thank you very much. So that's something that I plan on doing. So at first, Eve posted covers of songs, right? So why did he decide to write his own songs? So Eve began posting songs just a hobby, and before he knew it, he was making albums with my Dojin and doing live concerts. Especially after my one-man live, a sense of incongruity has begun to grow. Through my voice and songs, rather than know my appearance, people have gotten to know my inner self. Now, if you know my frame of mind and you really like it, then I'm happy about that. That's the one beauty of writing music, man. I started writing music as a hobby. Before you knew it, I was writing songs, and then I went ambitiously going into writing a whole album. And I always wanted to get back into songwriting, and perhaps maybe this channel someday will allow me to do so. Maybe I'll live vicariously. Before I can do that, I'll just live vicariously through Eve right now, man. Earlier, Eve told this person it takes about half a year to make one song. How did you compose and arrange the songs for Otogi specifically? Well, Eve posts the music himself as Eve, but his work actually involves a lot of people. With multiple people involved, the result doesn't exactly match the idea it was born from. Oh man, that as an artist, that is very tough. Do you want to hang on to your own ideas and make sure that you as a original song artist make it the way that you want? Because when you bring in a guitarist, when you bring in a drummer, oh, they're gonna change the structure of the music, man. Even if they don't intend it to, but things like this happen. With multiple people involved, the result doesn't exactly match. The music videos are especially important because people look forward to those as much as the music. Now, after the song demo is complete, he first decides which person he'll ask to make the video. From there, after seeing the first drawings they create, he'll change the song arrangement and lyrics. What? Then the video might change after listening to the song again. Man, I can't see the words. So, wow, man, can you imagine? It's like you write the song and then you go ahead to make the music video, then just to change the arrangement. Maybe that's the reason why when we watch his music video, it feels like one package. It feels like together with the story. Like the music doesn't just like the music video doesn't just accompany the music. And the music doesn't just provide a soundtrack to the music. This whole thing, it all revolves around together. And now that we know this is his process, not only he took a half a year to make a song, he not only has to work with people to make the music, but he actually incorporates the illustrators, the animators, and that will affect how his music is going to be. I guess this is what Harumaki Gohan does as well, man. I guess this is what he does. Keon, thank you so much for donating. Yo, I like your wits. You low-key sometimes look like that vibing cat meme when you press hit the button. And for a song I'll choose Inochi no Tabekata, to which you reacted to. But you don't have to sing at all. Just have a good day. Peace. Thanks, Keon, for donating. But I'll do it, man. I'll do it because this is what I want to have fun with. So I'm gonna load up Inochi no Tabekata right now, and I've never sang this music. I mean, I've sung the melody with broken lyrics that I made it up in my own mind, but I've never actually seen the lyrics before, man. But I am hella familiar with this song, very familiar with this song. Oh god, I'm gonna embarrass myself. But I like this, man. I like doing this. But anyways, before I get to it, I just want to share, man. Ever since I smashed that button too much, I don't smash that button anymore. That's because I need to have a higher standard in protecting my integrity with the music. So someday maybe a song would bend my will and I would press that button. All right, so how do I do this, man? How does the chorus go again? Oh man, the chorus is hard to sing. God, the chorus is high. All right. I'm not gonna straight away jump into that chorus. I'm gonna jump from the pre-chorus then the chorus, man. Let's see. God, I can't even recognize the lyrics. Give me a minute. Let me just listen to the song at all. I can't detect the lyrics at all. God, I'm embarrassing myself so much right now. So please have fun in the comment section, man. Boom. Alright, I'm almost there, man. Bear with me. Okay. Alright, I got it. Okay, here it goes, man. I'm not gonna play the song. I'm just gonna try to sing with what I know, man. 心まで貧しくなってグレーの海はさまよった美は満ち溢れるなんだ見探すな Oh shit やるが開ける前に思い覚まして時間がない君には守りたい絶対好き今日を越えて生きたいなきっと影がとったら回れもすげえフラフラになってしまう僕らにそれを忘れることは一切ないから考えることすらやめてしまいま Alright, thanks Keon, man. Thank you. Alright, appreciate it. So he took he took half a year to write the song. So there's not only the arrangement, man, which is handled by Numa, but video creators such as Ma and Waboku also join in on the music production. Exactly, so each music video is set somewhere in Tokyo. We went location hunting together, and when taking pictures, things like like this were said. Wow, even Eve says this. He feel like those animators that we see, you know, including Ma, Waboku, I'm sure Maria Su as well. These guys are part of the whole experience in a band, man. With such an exchange of ideas, I can't anticipate what we'll create. It's really exciting and it's a lot of fun. Man, hearing Eve singing in the live podcast, man. I mean, not live podcast. Hearing Eve talking in the Christmas live stream that he did the other day, he just feels like a brother, you know, like a naniki. He feels like a tomodachi. He feels so yasashi, you know. He feels someone that you can just like hang out and chill. He ain't gonna give him stress. Not like Mafu. He ain't gonna prank you, you know. And I just feel like there's a very mature take in how he handles this whole thing. So I can imagine him, you know, just asking Ma, asking Waboku, asking Numa, just, hey, you free this weekend? Because let's go to Tokyo, let's go to Skytree, let's go to Tokyo Tower, let's go to Odaiba, you know, and let's take pictures and develop an idea on how we want to destroy this damn city that we are in. Like, you see that building over there? Yeah, Digimon once destroyed it, but can we do it better? What if we have this very cute bear, and this cute bear somehow is like protecting this girl who is dying, and let's make this bear just really grow intensely huge, and from one corner of Tokyo he shoots up laser. That's right, let's let him shoot up laser that destroys the Tokyo Tower, and then our main character of that music video will just, together with all the characters, you know, all this manifestation, all this stando user, you know, all the stands, just go and reach out to that girl, and then the bear will just disappear, and the whole city will be destroyed, and that's about it. Yeah, let's do that, man. On top of that, let's have like sea creatures, you know, they float up in the sky. So I can imagine it's gonna be a very fun conversation. They'll be walking around the streets, having takoyaki. It's good stuff, by the way. Having all this fantastic Japanese street food, and then just like In what ways can we destroy the city? Hey Ma, you got some ideas? Hey Waboku, you got some ideas? You know, what if we use a train? You know, yeah, we're taking a train right now. How do we want to die right here, right now? Oh God, oh shit, oh man, I'm having too much fun with this, man. All right, well, we're coming close to the end of the podcast, and let's just go into this, man. We're finishing this article. I see Nico Doga or YouTube groups might be the bands of the present day. That's right, I mentioned this earlier in my podcast. It seems like the whole Utaite game is like a generational thing. When Nico Doga, the Vocaloid peak, and of course we know that Vocaloid kind of went downhill. Or YouTube groups might be the bands of the present day. Now with lyrics and melody as the axis, instrument players and video creators come together to create a world. You know, one thing that's very cool is that not only the musicians are on the rise, it gives a chance for all these illustrators and animators to come up and let people appreciate it. You know, in fact, it's not only the articles, it's not only the music that people are appreciating. I went from watching Okinime Sumama and then going into Humanoid for Zutomayo. And not only do I love the song, it made me become a fan of Eve. And I became a fan of Zutomayo. And then when I watched the music video and the animation, I've become a fan of Waboku, you know. I became a fan of these guys. And even when you watch Ado, the animation is created by from someone that we know as well. So this is very cool. It makes me feel like I belong into this whole community that they are in. So what Eve says is that he thinks the music videos are super important to the songs. They dig deeper, that's right, they do. And he wants to cherish them more from now on. However, he thinks collaboration could easily change the spirit of his songs. So he tried to only think about conveying to people the song in its best form. Man, it is a struggle, man. It is a struggle to having that initial idea of your song and then eventually working with the people. And though you love the people, you gotta in some ways protect the integrity of the music. And sometimes these things are a little bit tricky because when you invite people to work with you, you gotta listen to their ideas. But it's a two-edged sword because new ideas means changing your new feelings of the song. And when you change how you felt about your song originally, that is very tricky, man. That is very tricky. You're changing the whole construct of the music of the song, not just the lyrics and words, but the whole overall feel and tone. So that is very interesting, man. Alright guys, I hope you guys had fun in this podcast. I definitely had a lot of fun. Thank you so much, Kion, for donating. Thank you so much for you guys who stayed. Depressed Weep, I know you just joined, but don't worry, you'll be able to catch this podcast. It'll be broken down and we'll be cut a snippet into snippet. And I'm actually trying my best. You know, I might actually invite someone over, someone who loves Japanese music, who also do not know this Japanese music that we're listening to. He's completely, let me zoom in for this, virgin. He's completely virgin to this whole Japanese music game, and I plan to have him along on board with me, and maybe he'll become a podcast guest. And he plays music too and plays piano. He's a pretty good piano musician. I hope to write music too someday, man, someday. So thank you so much for all of you guys who have joined today's podcast. I really appreciate it. Eve Music Reaction Week has over, and shout out to all those people who have checked out all my reaction, including the ones on Patreon. Do join my Patreon reaction where you can check out my bunka and smile as well. I don't know what kind of music reaction week we're gonna do next, but let's all have fun. Thank you guys so much. Be careful with your ears because the outro is gonna play soon. All right, so careful with the outro, and I'll see you guys next time.